Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm your host, John Walker. Last week we had some exciting events take place on campus. For the second time in a week span, the men and women basketball teams took on Missouri Southern. The women came up short, losing 58-42. On the other hand, the men found themselves down 1 point with 6 seconds left in the game to the Lions. Here's the moment that cemented sophomore guard Trevor Hudgens into Bearcat Arena history.
Rattles out, it's long. Here comes Hudgens down the court. 3, 2, Hudgens, a step back three on the way. He got it! Trevor Hudgens got it! From inside the left wing, Trevor Hudgens gets the Bearcats the win. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Northwest Missouri State avoids the upset, and they get the win as the crowd storms the court. The magician, Trevor Hudgens, I said it earlier, that man makes space out of nothing. I think they're going to go to the monitor as well. It looks like they've already won. It's good.
Credit to KZLX and Austin McNorton for the call, as well as our very own KNWT broadcast for the footage. That shot gave Northwest its 7th consecutive regular season MIAA title and the 20th in program history. On Saturday, both teams competed against Pitt State in Bearcat Arena. The women were up by 3 points with 3 seconds left in the game. Pitt got a buzzer beater to go, sent it to overtime, and with 13 seconds left in overtime, the women were down 77-76 with the ball. Sound familiar? Kendi Eaton drove in, put the shot up, it rolled off of the rim, leaving the Bearcats' hopes of an MIAA tournament bid hanging in the balance starting this last week of the regular season. The men found themselves trailing the Gorillas at the half. Coach Ben McCollum said that perhaps they were hungover from that win and the shot that Hudgens hit, noting that's normal. Normal, McCollum said, is not something that's welcomed in his program. Nonetheless, the men pulled out a 73-64 win over Pitt to move the record to 26-1. Both teams will be back in action Tuesday when they make the trip to St. Joseph and face Missouri Western. When the Bearcats play the Griffins Tuesday, there will be a few redshirt freshmen for the women's team sitting on the end of the bench, as they have all season. Our reporter Derek Campbell sat down with a couple of them to see what that's like. Derek.
As the regular season for the Northwest women's basketball team is coming to a close, I met up with freshman redshirt Chase Vansteel to get her thoughts on what it means to be a redshirt.
Being redshirt is fun, but it's also really tough because we don't get to travel with the team, and so that makes it hard to be able to be as close as everyone, but also really fun to have extra workouts, and we just kind of get to take the lead to make ourselves better. And when we play against them in practice, we're technically making them better, but they're also making us better, so it's fun to always have that competition.
Freshman Chase mentioned some of the key moments that have stuck with her throughout the season.
Honestly, the key moments have been in the locker room, and like you can feel the tension, you can feel that everyone's ready to play, and everyone is like a close unit, and everyone's holding hands and stuff, and it just seems exciting, and it kind of makes you want it more to be able to play next year and feel the hype of the game there.
I also met up with freshman redshirt Emma Atwood and got her thoughts on having the year off as a redshirt.
Definitely improved because I came from such a small high school that the competition is nothing compared to like Division II college, and I mean my shooting's improved a lot and my post work, and so I mean it's frustrating to redshirt obviously, but like I already know that this year's like benefiting me and I've improved already, so I'm sure like once I get into the future I'll be glad that I redshirted.
With celebrations being a big part of a redshirt year, on the bench, Emma talks about one of her favorite celebrations to do.
I mean, every time someone makes a three, we all kind of communicate what celebration we're going to do, but I like the guitar three. So, yeah, probably that one.
The redshirt freshmen for the women's basketball team are ready to get on the court for next season. I am Derek Campbell reporting for Bearcat Update.
Thanks, Derek. Moving on to another start of a new season, Northwest Tennis is preparing for its upcoming spring season. In the preseason rankings, the men were placed atop their respective division, and the women were placed second in the MIAA behind Washburn. To get their perspectives on the upcoming year, respectively, our reporter Dylan Johnson caught up with the team. Dylan.
Last season has been filled with many ups and downs. Senior athlete Sarah Grozdanovich has had a much different experience than first-year Bearcat Louis Campos.
Last season was amazing. I mean, honestly, we were working really hard, and it went as good as we could. We went to nationals. It was just a great season overall for all of us, and we're hoping to get there again.
Last year was kind of tough at first. It was hard to get used to the country, new environment, everything, but everything turned out really good, and I'm super happy to be here right now.
The women ended their season losing in the national quarterfinals, while the men concluded theirs in the MIAA tournament. These losses fueled their off-season work.
So I played a few tournaments here and there, but the main focus was mainly on the cardio, like trying to keep the cardio, get your body working.
I think right now we're practicing a lot indoors. I can't wait to get outdoors finally, and we're going to practice even more and harder, longer.
Once the season is in full swing, the tennis team, like all Bearcats, set their expectations high.
Of course, the main goal is to reach nationals. So we have a few steps before that. That's the goal, to stay motivated.
I'm excited. It's my last season. I really want to be as good as last year, maybe even better.
This year I'm expecting not to lose a single match.
Reporting for Bearcat Update, this is Dylan Johnson.
Thanks, Dylan. We are going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT, Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. Going back to women's basketball, our reporter Chloe Kalhoff met with junior forward Mia Stillman to learn a little bit more about the team and how to perfect her free throw skills. Chloe.
Hi, welcome back to Coaching Chloe. I'm your host, Chloe Kalhoff. Today we have with us Mia Stillman, player from the women's basketball team.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. So I have a couple questions for you. Okay, so we know who you are on the court, clearly you're so good, but who are you off the court?
Off of the court, Mia is very busy.
All the time.
But yeah, but I have a lot of energy, like a lot of energy.
Of course, I see it all the time.
And I just like to be happy, and I like to spend time with like my friends, especially like the ones like who don't play sports here. So.
Fun, cool. Okay, so what makes you and your team so successful?
I would definitely say the team chemistry that we have. I mean, like our love just feeds off of each other every day, and like no matter like what we go through, like we know that we always have each other at the end of the day. And I think that that's what makes us so successful, especially like with just like our energy and then like just like the positivity that we get flowing throughout, like just like our whole entire team and staff included.
Yeah, cool. Well, when I went to the game yesterday, everyone was like so tight-knit, and it was like totally awesome. You could totally tell like you guys all love each other, and it's so fun. Okay, well, the reason we're here is because I want you to teach me some of your skills, such as shooting a free throw. I don't know what I'm doing, so you're going to teach me.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so this is how you shoot a free throw. So you're left-handed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you like want like your left foot to be like centered like with the rim. So like normally there's like a little dot like in the center, but there's not really one in this one. But is your foot lined up with that line?
I think so. Right?
You're a little over. There you go. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So like whatever like routine like you like feel like sometimes like I just take like one dribble and then I pick it up.
Okay.
But like there's a lot of people that like dribble or like spin or something.
So I can't just like...
Yeah, no. No.
No, I can't do that?
No.
Okay.
And you can't jump over this line. But you just
What
like
happens if I jump over it?
well, it doesn't count.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
know
a
that.
line violation. Yeah. So you kind of bend your knees.
Bend my knees.
Yep. Okay. So line up your other foot with this foot.
Behind it? Oh, the same.
Next, yep.
Oh.
And then just bend your knees a little bit.
Okay, you said lined up with the thing.
Yep.
What's it called?
And
The
then
net.
whenever you feel ready
Okay.
to shoot.
Okay. Oh. Okay, let me try again.
Put some more legs into it. Yeah. See, like your knees are bent and it's like up and through. So like you should go up and through your toes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're really getting it. Say like this is like
All my skills are
you're
pretty
down by one. We're down by one. That's all we need.
Okay.
We're down by one. She did it.
Thanks so much for coming on today. I learned something new every day. And that wraps up for today's episode of Coaching Chloe. Back to you in the studio, John.
Thanks, Chloe. Stay tuned. We're going to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Bearcat Update right here on KNWT, Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. The Northwest baseball team traveled to Colorado Springs, Colorado to compete against UC Colorado Springs. Over the span of the three-game series, the Cats were not able to find a win. The team will be back in action for their first home game against Northeastern State, an MIAA foe, on Friday. The softball team competed in the 5-state classic last weekend in Emporia, Kansas. Similar to the men, the women didn't find much success either. During the Classic, Caitlin Wise hit her 38th career home run to set the new mark for career home runs for a Bearcat. The team will travel to Springfield, Missouri to battle in the Drury Invitational this upcoming weekend. Northwest Track and Field competed in 2 tournaments last weekend, traveling to Nebraska for the Nebraska Tune-Up and sent another selective group of people to Minnesota for the Maverick Invitational. For the women's side, Heba Magoob placed second in the 200-meter dash, setting a new program record with a time of 23:89. Jordan Hammond placed third in the 200-meter dash. Jaleesa McWashington placed third in the triple jump with a jump of 37:04. And to finish off things on the women's side, the 4x4 group of Heba Magoob, Addie Palzer, Mo Bianchi, and Aaliyah Simmons won the event with a time of 3:50:89. Heading over to the men's side, Omar Austin won the 200-meter dash with a provisional qualifying time of 21:56. Marcus Klein won the long jump with a jump of 23:03.5. Cliff Nichols placed second in the 800-meter run at the Maverick Invitational. Blake Morgan tied for third in the high jump with a mark of 6:07. And finally, the distance medley relay team won the Maverick Invitational with a time of 10 minutes, 4 seconds, and 78 milliseconds. The team will be competing this weekend at the MIAA Championships in Pittsburgh, Kansas. And to close things out, of course, my pick of the week. What a coincidence, because this week it is a Northwest Track and Field team. Over the last couple of weeks, Coach Brandon Masters has referred to the meets as glorified practices. The Bearcats haven't been worried about placements as those meets, moreover progression throughout the season and gaining experience with the competitors there. This weekend at the conference championships, I'm expecting the men to take a shot at the conference title against Missouri Southern and the women to put up a good fight against Lincoln. For those reasons, and of course more, Northwest Track and Field is my pick of the week. That's going to wrap things up for this week's episode of Bearcat Update. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BearcatUpdate_8 and catch all of our previous episodes on YouTube at KNWT8. Thanks for watching. See you next week. What is up, guys? Make sure to check out last week's episode of Bearcat Update up here, and for all of our previous episodes, click down there. See you next week.